house guests, welcome to today's Big Brother Canada 7 updates and spoilers. Our house guests of the day. We've got John D. Dominici, John Schwan, and is it Jomer or Homer? Miriales. I'm sorry. Oh, I'm so bad at pronouncing names. But we really appreciate your support, all of you guys. We could not do this without you, so thank you again. And if you want to be house guest of the day, check out our Patreon link in the info box below. Alright, so last night, double eviction night, baby. Esty and Damien were evicted. Now what? Oh my god, it's the pretty boys and Kira left in this house. Are you kidding me? But, on the bright side, after that turd of a double eviction, it was all quiet and subdued when the feeds came back. And that can mean only one thing. Kira won HOH. Oh my god! So, is it possible this week for Kira to be like, I evict myself because they want to like make sure that they're helping their boys out? I mean, really, that's what this season feels like. But anyway, no. Kira will be forced to send home a pretty boy, which means that the pretty boys will not make it to the final four intact, and they will not be able to have their weird-ass ceremony with candles and robes to reveal their alliance. Apparently, it was some sort of mental competition. So everybody thought that that was like Mark's strength. So they're pretty much super pissed at him that he really beefed it. He beefed it. So they're all hanging out. Again, it's quiet. Some would describe it as a funeral on the feeds. Kira leaves to go to the bathroom, and the pretty boys are like, you know what? We had a good run. We should still be proud. It sounds like they're a bunch of little leaguers and they just got eliminated from All-Stars and their parents are trying to make them feel better. We've all been there. But anyway, then Adam was talking to the cameras in the blue bedroom. And he was like, I hope Kira doesn't put me up. He feels like this could be good for him because he's been working pretty closely with Kira since Sam left. Also, Kira, and Dane have their final 3 deal, which may have started as a joke. Kira didn't know it wasn't real. But I mean, he's hoping it's legit and he can really take advantage of that. So Dane joins him, and Dane is nervous because he has now put Kira up on the block 3 times. That's insane. So he's worried that he could be in trouble this week. But he's like, Adam, you gotta help me out because Kira will listen to you. Mark should be the target this week, and Anthony should go up next to him because he's never touched the block. That's gotta stop. So he tells Adam, you really gotta work the Sam card with Kira. Keep bringing it up. Say that Sam wanted us 3 to work together, and we'll make it happen. So then the pretty boys were chatting in the kitchen, and they're like, oh man, all we can hope for at this point is a twist. This game is almost over. Your twist days are over. So Anthony is like, I wouldn't be surprised if there were more twists. No. Okay, so then more talk of how incredible their run was. And in all honesty, yeah, like they did do something crazy. As boring as it was to watch after a while, they've got their whole alliance in the final 5. It's crazy. So Adam's saying we never went after each other. That's because the 2 people that really were winning competitions for the group were the loyal ones that wanted to keep the group together. But I feel like if Anthony and Mark had won more competitions, they probably would have split the pretty boys up sooner. But they're like, oh man, there's no way that Damien would have won that HOH competition. So like maybe we should have kept him. But then they're like, you know what? No, how are we supposed to know that? There's no way of knowing what competitions are coming up. So like, no, we can't think like that. So then Mark is like, should we tell Kira about the pretty boys? He's like chomping at the bit to reveal this. And they're like, no, we're keeping it a secret. But I wouldn't be surprised if that came out at some point this week because somebody was trying to throw somebody else under the bus. So we'll see what happens. But Kira got their HOH room. We didn't get to see the reveal. We usually don't on the feeds for Canada. And then it was time for strategy chats. So Kira, Adam, and Dane were all talking together. And Kira says, I will not be putting Adam up this week. And they were adamant about it. But Kira says Mark is the target. And Dane's like, okay, great. Well, we got to make sure that Mark doesn't win POV. And Kira's like, yeah, well, we're all going to be playing, so he won't win. We'll see. But Kira is not sure if the other nominee next to Mark is going to be Dane or Anthony. So, I mean, Kira is saying that they don't want Anthony to know about the final 3 deal with Kira, Adam, and Dane. So, like, putting Dane up on the block would kind of, like, throw him off a bit. Kira's like, he already asked me about it, so he knows that something's up. Yo, they freaking told him before they even made the deal with you. So, yeah, he knows about it. But anyway, who freaking cares if he knows about it? You're down to the final 5. What's the big deal? So, there's got to be something else going on there, right? But Kira also plans to take Anthony to Wendy's to see where his head is at. So then Kira says, even if someone comes down, Adam is still not going up. They will put up the other person, either Dane or Anthony, whichever one doesn't go up initially. But guess what? That's not necessarily true. At the final 5, there is that scenario where, like, even the one person you don't want to go up can go up. We'll get to that in a minute. So, Kira is then asking Dane, would you be upset if I put you up as a pawn? Kira shouldn't even have to ask Dane this, because Dane has put them up 3 times now. You don't have to ask if it's okay. It's happening. So Dane's like, yeah, I get it, that's fine. And Kira's like, it would look really suspicious if I didn't put you up, because you put me up 3 times. And again, Kira's like, we all play in veto. Mark is going. You're just a pawn. Don't worry about it. Kira brings up that they're also worried that Anthony would hold a grudge if he goes up on the block. Again, who cares? It's the final 3. I mean, sorry, final 5. So it just... Kira's got all these reasons why they want Dane up on the block instead of Anthony. It's just like, Kira's really set on this. I wonder what's going on here, right? So then Dane starts bringing up some points about why Anthony should go up instead of him. He's like, yo, if Anthony makes it to the final 2 and can say that he's never been on the block before, that's kind of a big deal. You know, that doesn't happen very often, and that's going to be a really strong point of argument for him in the final 2. And Kira's like, Anthony's not gonna make it to the final 2. Whoa, somebody's confident now. So then Dane's like, all right, well, how about this? What if you put up me and Mark? Anthony wins the power veto and saves Mark. You're gonna have to put Adam up on the block. So this is what I was talking about 30 seconds ago, a minute ago. Adam would have to go up on the block. There's no other option. And Kira's like, oh, I didn't think of that. Ah! So then Kira's like, all right, I'm going to have to mull things over. We'll talk more tomorrow. Kira wants to just enjoy the HOH right now. So Kira takes a bath while fully clothed, which is fine. Like, you do you. It's just, I thought it was worth mentioning because it's kind of weird. But anyway, Adam and Dane continue to strategize out by the hot tub. So Dane is like, you really have to push the possibility that Anthony would use the power veto on Mark, because Kira keeps saying that they don't want Adam to go up on the block. So that is a scenario that could potentially happen if Kira puts up Dane and Mark as the initial nominees. So you really need to, again, push that Sam would be pissed if Adam goes home on Kira's HOH. So then they're talking about what they want to do moving forward. They still would like to go to the final 3 with Anthony because they feel like they can beat him in the final HOH competition. Okay. They also are starting to feel okay about Kira winning HOH. Like, yeah, it sucks that they didn't complete their goal of having all 4 pretty boys in the final 4, but they're like, you know what? We'll probably be okay this week, and we'll both be able to play in the next HOH, so that's great. We'll see. Okay, so at the end of last night, it seemed like it would be Dane and Mark going up on the block. But then this morning, what the F is actually going on? Kira and Anthony were having a game chat, and Kira's like, I gotta tell you, I'm feeling a lot of pressure. I want to put Mark and Dane up on the block, with Dane as a pawn, but Dane and Adam are trying to convince me to put up you, Anthony. So Kira's talking about that power veto scenario that Dane was saying, that like Anthony would save Mark and then Adam would go up, and Kira's like, Anthony, I don't want to put you up. What? I is she talking to Anthony right now? Because it doesn't feel like it. I thought they freaking hated each other. So Kira's like, I want to put up Mark and Dane, and I'm going to be honest here, I want it to be a tie, and I want to break the tie. Kira says that would be great TV. It'd be so much fun. Kira didn't say who they would be sending home. It kind of seems like Dane is Kira's real target now. So Kira's like to Anthony, what do you think I should do? So Anthony's like, well, Kira, Dane and Adam think that you're dumb. Dane and Adam want to take each other to the final two. They've been planning on that since like the beginning of the game, which is true. They have been very close. They want to go to the end together because they feel like it would be like the two best players and it would be the best final two ever. So anyway, then Kira's like, out of everyone, I feel most loyal to you. Where is this coming from? I don't understand it. I don't understand it. But okay. So then Anthony starts sharing lots of Adam's secrets. They were discussing how Dane and Adam keep bringing up Sam to try and manipulate Kira and get them to do what the guys want. Also, Anthony was like, remember when you were up on the block against Chelsea? Adam wanted you to go. And he's also saying that Adam and Dane would snake you, then me, and then Mark. So you really want to move forward with them. So then Mark joins them, and Kira lets him know that he might be going up this week. It's not set in stone yet. They're gonna let Mark know when they know for sure, but Mark's just like, okay. So then Kira goes inside. Mark and Anthony are alone, and Anthony says, here's the thing. First of all, this is my HOH. Gross. So then Anthony starts giving Mark his talking points to get Dane and Adam up on the block. So he's like, you gotta keep telling Kira that they're not gonna make it to the end if they work with Dane and Adam because they're planning on going to the final two together. Stuff like that. And it seems like this kind of thing is working on Kira, so it's pretty interesting. So then a little while later, Kira is talking to the cameras, and here's where it gets really crazy, because Kira's like, I have to put up Adam and Dane. What? Before Kira was saying that they weren't going to put up Adam at all, ever, no. And now Kira's saying they're going to put up Adam and Dane. I think when Kira heard them talking about that POV scenario about how Anthony could use the veto on Mark, and then, you know, that would all be blown up and Mark couldn't go home, that freaked Kira out, because I think Kira was really planning on getting rid of Dane. So Kira was thinking, oh crap, if Adam is off the block and he wins power veto, he could use it on Dane, and then I'm not going to be able to split those two up. Because Kira's realizing they can't keep Adam and Dane. It's just too much competition there. So it really is starting to sound like Dane is the real target this week. Kira says I can't go to top 3 with both of them. So then a little while later, Kira is practicing their nomination speech, and they're practicing for Dane and Adam to go up on the block. Kira's like, Dane, you've nominated me 3 times, and you're one of the strongest competitors. And Adam, you told me that this week is all about the power veto, and I can't risk you using the POV on Dane. Damn! So I saw a lot of people online saying that this was like the dumbest move that Kira could make, but I disagree. I mean, yes, you're putting Adam at risk here, but like Adam does want to go to the finals with Dane, I'm pretty sure. That's what it seems like. Realistically, I think Kira has a much better shot against Mark and Anthony in competitions to get to the end on their own merit, and also if they were in the end with Mark or Anthony, I feel like Kira would have a better shot. Like, yeah, Kira probably like still lose, right? But I think they would have a better shot against Mark or Anthony than against Dane or Adam. So like, I feel like it makes sense for Kira. But later, Kira calls everyone to the living room, and it's about have-nots. There's an announcement from Big Brother. So Big Brother shows them like this montage of their best worst moments of have-notness. So it was basically just them being like, ew, slop is gross, blah. And then Kira's reading the card from Big Brother, and it says, you will now have the opportunity to close down the have-not room for the season. You'll be quizzed on the contents of the archive room. You've got 30 minutes to study. If you fail the quiz, you're all gonna be have-nots for the rest of the season. What? So then they go to the archive room, they start counting things, they're all working together, like blah, 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 calculating how many boxes and binders. So after the 30 minutes are up, it's quiz time. And Kira is asking the questions. So they have to get 5 out of 7 correct to end have-nots for the rest of the season. So I'm not gonna bore you with all the questions, but it started off good for them. They were on a roll, and then they started getting things wrong. And it came down to the last question. They had to get it right. And the question was like, how many red binders were in the archive room? They said 0, and the answer was 2. Ooh, so they failed. So then that means that they're gonna be have-nots for the rest of the season. Oh my god. To be fair, the rest of the season's only like, what, 2 weeks? So it's not like the end of the world, but you would think it is. So they are freaking out. At this point, it's unclear if they're actually going to make them do this or if this is all like a task. Maybe Kira is involved in it and like knows that it's fake. I don't know. Maybe everybody's being punked here. But everybody is super bummed out. It's like all quiet for a few minutes and then that turns into straight up rage. People are pissed that the questions were too hard. They're really, really angry and they're also hoping that it was a joke. Kira starts crying about not being able to sleep in the HOH room. It was meltdown city. So this went on for a little while. And honestly, I feel like the producers were freaking out because they're like, oh my god, these people are going to be little bitches for the next 2 weeks. What if they don't do what we want them to do? What if they don't give us the energy that we're looking for? What if they're like little a-holes and they ruin the show, you know? So then, a little while later, everyone is called into the living room again for another announcement from Big Brother. So Kira reads the card and Big Brother's like, well, we see you didn't take it so great. Guess what? It was a prank. So everybody is celebrating. They're super excited. Was it really a prank though? Again, I feel like they were expecting them to like succeed and that would have been fine, but then this was kind of like the fail-safe. If they failed, they could be like, it was a prank. Because, I mean, what would they have done if they actually did get 5 out of 7 questions right? They were only off by 1. They got 4 questions right. Right? So I feel like they were just thinking, oh crap, we need to fix this. But anyway, the have-nots are over for the rest of the season. Still to come today, it's a power-packed day. Wendy's, I'm assuming Kira will still be taking Anthony, and nominations. At this point, it looks like Kira's gonna put up Dane and Adam. Should be pretty interesting to see what happens there. But I will put the nominees in the info below for the spoiler later tonight, so if you guys wanna check back. And we'll talk about it all tomorrow in the Power Veto. So until then, much love.